You feel me? She didn't adopt us for any good reasons.
This lady got in
at the hands of Miss Bishop.
She said we was emotionally disturbed. She put us on Ritalin so that she can get paid for us too. So it was a hustle for her. You know, getting kids was a hustle for her. You feel me? She didn't adopt us for any good reasons.
This lady got an extension cord and wrapped it around her hand. Yeah. And she said, hold out your hands. And I was like, so she started whipping me. I was like, my whole hand went numb. It was crazy. And she started telling me about, and she like put them out again. And she just kept hitting me.
In his teenage years, Eligio described how he began to stand up to Miss Bishop, and that once he had stood up to her, he became resistant to any authority.
You know what I'm saying? This gave me a temper. Once I stuck up to her, nobody could tell me nothing. Like, once I stuck up to this lady, no one can tell me at all. Like, nothing at all. No one could tell me anything at all. So, fuck it, I'm wilding now. Like, the police can't tell me nothing. We was wilding on the police. I was like fighting police. I was wild. Like, at this point, she broke something in me, and it just like, I was rebellious to any kind of authority. I was like, fuck that.
It is worth noting here that abuse is the defining feature of Eligio Bishop's early life, and this was potentially instructive for his later behavior. The intergenerational cycle of abuse is a pattern whereby victimized people can become abusive themselves in later life, linking abusive behavior to feelings of power, inadequacy, insecurity, or grandiosity. Although it is certainly not always the case, and many people are able to break this cycle, it seems entirely plausible that Eligio's early victimization could have led to the abuse he would go on to perpetrate later in life. Around age 13, Eligio had fallen in with a bad crowd and ended up in Jamesburg Juvenile Jail.
And from there, I went to Jamesburg. Jamesburg was a prison for boys. And in Jamesburg, it was a lot of fighting. You feel me what I'm saying? Like, I think I died one time in there. I got jumped by 20 Latin kings.
Now known as New Jersey Training School, Jamesburg is an infamous juvenile detention center for boys described as a house of horrors and hell on earth, which has faced calls for its closure due to its appalling conditions and stigmatization of underage people as criminals. Eligio would spend the next 3 years of his life in Jamesburg, being transferred to maximum security prison when he was 16 years old and only re-entering the population aged 19, having been incarcerated since 13. He claims that he trained with the Marines following his release.
I went to the Army. I went to boot camp in Fort Knox, Kentucky, in the middle of the winter, training with the Marines. I was training with the Marines. It was crazy. Basic training with the Marines.
The next phase of Eligio Bishop's life involved living off women he was dating, as he described how he was homeless but would use his relationships to help him get back on his feet.
After that, my sister kicked me out. I started getting into arguments with my sister, so I was sleeping in the bush. I was sleeping outside in the woods. But I always had women. Like, even when I was broke, I always had a whole bunch of women. Like, I was the dude that was like, yo, Lee, where the bitches at? He's always coming like, yo, Lee, where the bitches at?
He moved to Atlanta, where he would eventually be introduced to erotic dancing and ultimately male escorting and pornography.
I became a gay male stripper, just a stripper. But then I started dancing for women, and the women would pay you, but they didn't pay you like the guys did. So I like dancing for women because it got me a lot of attention from women. And women was like paying me to have sex with them. And I was a gigolo, and I was like, I would do massages and whatever. I became a male escort. I was a male escort for guys and women. Like, I would do the massage. I would jack off for dudes. I did all that stuff. Like, you feel me? Like, I was gay for pay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that word. I made a lot of money. So when you see me on that, they show you like a doctor video and shit. I was young. I didn't know about the internet, and he didn't pay me no fucking $50. He paid me $2,000 to do that scene. And it's a gay scene that's going around with me. I'm doing an exam with a doctor. You feel me? And at the time, like, it was a hustle for me, so I didn't really care. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to jerk me off, you know what I'm saying, and do a record exam and all that. So I didn't know that the internet was going to be this big now. Like, I didn't know that they was going to catch that and be like, oh, yeah, remember this shit?
LGBTQ community that will show you how to worship me.
And I watch him pull his thing out and put the phone camera on it. And I know he's on the phone with the guy. And I'm like, nobody else don't see this?
Former members would disclose that toward the end of Carbon Nation, Eligio was leaning more into pansexuality.
Question was, did they really want to train on the training?
Yes, they really ran.
Tongue twisted like a motherfucker.
All right, so he would invite transsexuals over, and then the men would be in the room. So he had men in the room with the transsexual woman, and had the transsexual woman set them up or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Eligio's sexuality is, of course, irrelevant to his character. Former members would theorize, however, that the repression of these feelings is what fueled his hatred of women.
I think I see the similarity with the P. Diddy and Eligio and the R. Kelly because I feel like they all hate women.
Oh, wow.
I feel like they all hate women and they hide behind women because they cannot accept their sexuality of who they really are.
As Bishop continued to unravel, his abuse extended beyond his romantic partners to the other members of his cult. Live streams from this period showed the world some of the physical and psychological abuse he was subjecting his followers to.
You ask for a strawberry? Bitch, ask for a strawberry? Huh? No, my chief. Don't you ever in your motherfucking life give me a motherfucking strawberry unless I ask for one, motherfucker. I made this phone and I made you. Ever disrespect God. Smack that. Don't you ever disrespect me, man.
The black man is God.
The black man is God.
Put your arms to the side. Black man, I apologize to you.
Black man, I apologize to you
for being a bitch.
for being a bitch.
Could you find some idiots online to pay you to do this to them? I bet you could. Can you find some weak online that have money that will give you money to humiliate them publicly? Can you do it? If you can, let me know.
There was increasing concern online for the safety of the members of Carbon Nation, worries that if this monster continued to escalate the level of abuse toward his followers, it was only a matter of time before something truly terrible happened.
Execute a meeting and will show you how to worship me.
And I watch him pull his thing out and put the phone